guys are so quick to like, they gotta win. They gotta win the argument. And it's like, what are you doing? What are you winning?
So Benny Blanco didn't drop names, but the internet's convinced he just shaded Justin Bieber. And honestly, Justin might have earned it. Because double tapping your ex's pic while you're married, that's not subtle. That's a digital red flag. And Benny isn't pulling punches either. You fight with your wife, she ends up crying, and you think you won that argument? Bro, that's not a flex. That's emotional sabotage dressed as ego. Translation: direct shade, served, hot. And with Justin once again lurking on Selena's posts, fans are reading Benny's vibe loud and clear. Grow up, or watch everything you love walk away. Because apparently, 2025 just decided, let's give the people a saga, and handed us front row seats to the most chaotic trio in pop culture drama. Picture it, April 6th, 2025. Twitter's melting down in real time over what might be this generation's version of We Were on a Break. Justin Bieber, who's literally married with a baby, allegedly liked and then unliked a post featuring Selena and her man looking all kinds of couple goals. Now, you might think this is just another case of accidental double tap drama, but no, this rabbit hole goes way deeper than a glitchy thumb. Settle in, bestie, because what's unfolding here has more layers than a Twitch streamer's keyboard setup. Let's break it down. First, we've got Justin Baby Biebs Bieber, the original YouTube pop prince, fame-soaked since his teenage years. Then there's Selena, Queen of Hearts Gomez, Disney darling turned raw, real, and main character energy icon. And finally, Benny Blanco, the behind-the-scenes producer wizard who's been creating the soundtrack to your life while keeping his personal life locked down until now. These three aren't just bound by fame, they're tangled in heartbreaks, hits, and now betrayal arcs that even commentary YouTubers couldn't script better. The history? Wild. Selena and Justin's love story, dubbed Jelena by the internet, ran from 2010 to 2018, a roller coaster of red carpets, paparazzi snapshots, and breakup ballads that fueled parasocial relationships for nearly a decade. Meanwhile, Benny was Switzerland in all this, producing tracks for both sides. Same old love for Selena, love yourself for Justin. But wait, plot twist. Because it wasn't just professional. Justin and Benny, they were brothers in arms, trauma bonding in studios, making hits like Eeny Meeny and Somebody to Love. They weren't just collaborators, they were sharing secrets, trust, and heartache playlists. So imagine the shift when, mid-2023, Benny and Selena soft launched their relationship. Subtle social clues turned into a December 2023 confirmation. And then, a full-on engagement bomb in December 2024. All while Justin was supposedly thriving, entering full-on dad mode after welcoming baby Jack Blues with wife Haley in August 2024. Picture that, married, fatherhood unlocked. It should be bliss. But the universe had other plans. The plot started thickening faster than an e-girl's eyeliner when the whispers turned into full-on insider tea. Sources claim Justin was stung, not just surprised, by Selena's engagement to Benny. It wasn't just, oh, she moved on. It was, the era is over. The kind of haunting that sticks when you see your past thriving without you. Imagine watching your ex level up with your ex-best friend. It's giving, I muted their stories, but my friends still send me screenshots energy. And the betrayal? That ran deeper than a studio beat. Because apparently, when Benny started dating Selena, he ghosted Justin. No closure, no conversation, just vanished. Left him reeling, left him pressed. Left him betrayed by the same guy he once called a brother. The duo that gave us music magic now found themselves in personal chaos. And then it happened. The post that set celebrity T-Twitter ablaze. A romantic carousel of Benny and Selena's. Engagement shoot? High-def couple vibes? Behind-the-scenes magic? Aesthetic overload. It wasn't just content, it was a flex. A whole mood board titled, We're Thriving, Thanks for Asking. And somewhere in that scroll, Justin's name, a like, a digital whisper, a moment that launched 1,000 theories. Because when your ex, a married man with a newborn, engages with a public display of love between his old flame and his former friend, the internet notices. And it doesn't forgive. The screenshots came in fast. Like detectives on caffeine, fans captured that like before it vanished. And once it was gone, the fire only grew. Twitter turned into CSI Instagram. edition. Fans zoomed into timestamps, metadata, even the angle of the post. This wasn't gossip. This was forensic investigation in real time. Everyone was in on it, analyzing, screenshotting, posting. The lines between followers and digital detectives blurred, and no one wanted to miss the next clue. But things only got messier. Just days before this chaos, Justin had already stirred the pot with a cryptic Instagram story. A low-res meme of Gollum clutching the One Ring, captioned, "Girls on social media when they get engaged." The shade wasn't subtle, and the timing, right after Selena had been proudly showing off her ring, yeah, it hit like a subtweet in meme form. Stan Twitter lost it instantly. They connected the dots faster than drama channels after a creator breakup. And when you stack that on top of Justin's recent public behavior, the gaunt photos, bizarre fits, erratic posts, the narrative started writing itself. Therapists on TikTok and Twitter were literally diagnosing him through paparazzi shots. Disheveled, unstable, low-vibe energy. It was giving. Touch grass, log off, find peace. Because when childhood fame grows up into adult trauma, the breakdown doesn't happen behind closed doors. It plays out on the feed. The friendship fallout hit even harder when fans realized Benny wasn't just Justin's studio buddy. He was the guy who listened when Justin poured out his heartbreak over Selena, the one he cried to, the one he trusted, and now? That guy's putting a ring on the very same girl. It's the ultimate betrayal, a violation of every sacred bro code. Imagine sharing your soul with someone, then watching them write love songs with the woman who broke it. The psychic damage? Unmatched. And as rumors swirled of Justin trying to rebuild bridges, sending soft messages, hinting at reconciliation, both Selena and Benny hit him with the ultimate silent treatment. Left on read? No response, just digital ghosts. And that kind of double silence, it echoes louder than any clapback ever could. That's the part that stung the most. The like, the unlike, the silence in return. In today's online world, every click carries meaning. Every interaction is a public declaration. And Justin's quiet little tap, followed by its swift disappearance, revealed a whole inner storm. Support clashing with shame, love battling with loss, ego trying to make peace with regret. A whole emotional war, played out through a double tap. And that's what made this moment explode. Because it wasn't just about the double tap. It was about what it represented. Parasocial culture turned up to 11. Millions refreshing. Instagram pages for a microsecond of human error, dissecting one interaction like it was a courtroom exhibit. We weren't just watching, we were participating. Black Mirror energy, but real. The digital stage had become the main character, and every story post was a plot twist. For Selena, it was déjà vu she never asked for. She'd moved on, healed in public, loved in private. She had finally stepped into a chapter that felt calm, whole, and real. And suddenly she's being dragged back into Jelena nostalgia by someone else's unresolved emotions. It was giving unwanted reboot vibes, the kind that ruins the perfectly wrapped up series finale. For Benny, this wasn't what he signed up for. One minute he's producing hits in the shadows, the next he's the centerpiece of a fan war he didn't ignite. When Justin unfollowed him in February 2025, the message was clear. The brotherhood was over. No more loyalty, no more collabs. It wasn't just about an Instagram follow. It was a severed bond between two artists who once built dreams in the same studio. This was bigger than social media. It was heartbreak in HD. The power dynamics of this triangle were wilder than a three-way collab gone wrong. Justin, the global superstar turned husband-father navigating identity. Selena, the Disney princess turned business mogul radiating post-trauma clarity. And Benny, the background genius, now thrust into main feed chaos. They weren't just celebrities anymore, they were archetypes in a digital mythos. The ex, the moved on, the unexpected fiancé. And social media, it turned into a battlefield. Tweets became weapons, comments became landmines, and what was once private heartbreak became public performance. The whole thing felt less like gossip, and more like a saga, one that no one could stop watching. And then came the clapback. April 7th, 2025, just another morning until Selena and Benny shattered the internet without saying a single word. While fans were still processing Justin's awkward digital fumble, Selena dropped a carousel post. That wasn't just content, it was a statement. A perfectly curated, emotionally loaded, visually strategic response that hit like a viral reaction tweet, except dressed up in golden hour filters. The opening photo, a slow kiss between her and Benny, shot in such crisp HD it made paparazzi lenses look like toy cameras. The next, a beach shot. Benny plus Sel etched in the sand. The message was crystal. We're building something real, while you're stuck reliving what already collapsed. And then came the candids. Real, raw, full of joy. Couple goals. Turned up to 11. It wasn't just a love post. It was digital warfare disguised as romance. Benny, who usually lurks harder than a non-sub in a Twitch chat, wasn't silent this time. He liked the post instantly, and then dropped a comment that detonated across the internet. Benny plus Sel. Just 3 words. But in digital culture, that was a nuke. To normies, it read like a cute boyfriend moment. But to those fluent in online drama, it was shade, subtle, devastating, effective. The hearts weren't just emojis, they were armor. Shields against old flames and chaotic exes. This was Benny firing back not with words, but with public love. And that hit harder than any diss track could. The beauty of this move, it did everything at once. Reasserted their narrative, silenced the noise, and reminded the world, happiness doesn't argue, it glows. The flex wasn't loud. It was elegant, strategic, like when your favorite streamer claps back at haters by casually flexing their sponsor check, not through a rant, but through quiet power. Selena and Benny didn't just end the debate, they changed the rules. But this wasn't just a flex, it was a masterclass. While the internet argued in quote tweets and fan threads, Selena and Benny moved in silence, letting their happiness speak louder than any hashtag. And yet, that silence, it was deafening. Because behind those polished posts lived entire subplots, full-on digital beef playing out through aesthetics, timing, and energy. It didn't take long for fans to connect the dots. Justin had been trying desperately to re-enter the chat, sliding into DMs, floating peace offers through mutuals, whispering behind closed doors, but all he got back was nothing. Silence. 2 people he once considered safe spaces were now moving on without him, and publicly thriving. That kind of ghosting hits different when the world is watching. And now every post from Selena and Benny looked like a message, whether they meant it or not. Every smile read like shade. Every kiss, a clapback. Justin? He spiraled. Sources claimed he was reading into everything, like someone interpreting subtweets with a wounded heart and a fragile ego. The paranoia set in, and it started to show. Suddenly, their joint album, I Said I Love You First, was being decoded like ancient scripture. Fans zoomed in on one particular track. How does it feel to be forgotten? A lyric jumped out. You're so embarrassing. Go cry when no one's watching? Brutal. Poetic. And to the internet, obviously about Justin. Even though Selena denied, the album was about him. It didn't matter. The timing, the tone, the trajectory, it all lined up too perfectly. Theories multiplied, TikToks exploded, reaction videos dropped every hour, and Benny, he was playing chess while everyone else was scrolling. He posted a seemingly harmless story, showing off a quirky hot dog phone case. But the internet clocked it fast. It looked suspiciously similar to one Haley had just posted with her Rode setup. Coincidence? The fans didn't think so. They saw it for what it was, high-level digital trolling. Not loud, not messy, but intentional. That post alone had TikTok absolutely gasping. And just like that, Benny went from producer to petty king, pulling off visual subtweets that would make any social strategist proud. That hot dog phone case wasn't just a joke, it was a statement. A chess move in the middle of a war most people didn't even know they were watching. And it worked. TikTok detectives went into full forensic mode, side-by-sides, zoom-ins, slow-motion breakdowns, theories stacked on theories. Was it shade? Was it petty? Was it genius? The answer was yes, yes, and absolutely yes. The internet was deceased. And while that single post spiraled into thousands of duets and breakdowns, the real drama was escalating behind the scenes. Fan bases transformed into factions. Selenators came charging, keyboards blazing, dropping love, defense, and bestie we got you comments across every post. Like a digital army deployed for emotional support. Beliebers, meanwhile, were flailing, running defense, justifying Justin's actions, trying to rewrite the narrative, but struggling to explain behavior that even casual fans were side-eyeing. It was messy. It was wild. It was everything you expect from a full-blown digital fallout. Comment sections became battlegrounds. Quote tweets turned into essays. Reddit threads exploded. And somewhere in the middle of it all, Benny and Selena stayed completely unbothered. They weren't dodging shade. They were glowing through it. The genius of their move wasn't just the aesthetic or the clapback, it was the total refusal to engage. Like a streamer flipping on sub-only mode during a hate raid, they drew a line. Drama couldn't touch them unless they let it. And they didn't, which made the trolls rage even more. Because nothing infuriates a hater like being ignored by someone who's clearly thriving. That's what made this whole saga go viral. Not just the mess, but the strategy. It was a case study in how to dominate a narrative without ever entering. The fight and the ripple effects? Unreal. Media outlets couldn't look away. They dropped full-blown think pieces like it was a college thesis season, dissecting the psychology behind it all. Every screenshot, every emoji, every line of subtext. Commentary channels had a field day. This was their Super Bowl. They broke it down angle by angle, turning the whole situation into a viral goldmine. But the tea went deeper than views and likes, because this was no longer just celebrity drama. This was content strategy in disguise, a full-scale rebrand. Selena and Benny weren't just winning the breakup optics, they were rewriting how relationship fallout looks in the digital age. They weren't feeding trolls, they were feeding engagement. And it worked. But behind all the beauty and curated power, a quieter war raged on. Sources leaked that Justin had been reaching out again, dropping messages into DMs and group chats, trying to fix what shattered. But no one was answering. Not one message, not even a breadcrumb. And that, silence hit harder than any expose. It was emotional exile, broadcast to the world, the kind of rejection that doesn't just hurt, it humiliates. Because now the internet knew, everyone knew, that the guy once at the center of it all had been removed from the group chat of his own past, and he wasn't getting re-added. The optics were brutal. Every new post from Selena or Benny looked like another passive shot. Whether they meant it or not, the narrative had been locked. They were soaring while Justin was spiraling. Fans started reading into everything. Captions, outfits, filters, like emotional archaeologists digging through pixels for proof. Even innocent lyrics from their joint album became emotional evidence. It wasn't just music anymore, it was messaging. And Justin, he saw it, felt it, all of it. Every public post he couldn't respond to, every moment that confirmed what he had lost. And just when you thought things had peaked, the internet dialed it up again. Fans locked in on the track, How Does It Feel to Be Forgotten? And suddenly the lyrics weren't just lyrics, they were confessions, clues. One line in particular, "You're so embarrassing, go cry when no one's watching," hit like a sucker punch. The timing was too perfect, the vibes too specific. Even as Selena denied the album was about Justin, no one cared. Fans were already knee-deep in TikTok breakdowns, matching lyrics to real-life timelines like it was a true crime docuseries. And then Benny, always a few moves ahead, stirred the pot even more with a subtle but viral post. A photo, just his phone case, but fans instantly clocked the reference. It looked suspiciously like Hailey Bieber's road aesthetic. Coincidence? Maybe. But to the internet, it was war. Petty, calculated, genius. This wasn't just music beef, this was marketing. Benny wasn't just producing, he was programming cultural moments. His phone case became content. His likes became news. His silence became a message. It was chess, not checkers. The fans couldn't get enough. And the platform wars, they erupted. Selena's stans rolled out support campaigns like they were launching a product, full of heartfelt captions, edits, aesthetic mood boards, and clapbacks so quick they read like pre-written scripts. Meanwhile, Beliebers were trying to keep up. But they were losing ground. Because here's the truth, defending someone who's unraveling online is a full-time job. And fans were tired. The drama didn't feel like drama anymore. It felt like exposure. Like watching someone's private crisis unfold in Ultra HD. And the worst part? Justin couldn't stop it. He couldn't delete the vibes, he couldn't unlike the past. He was trapped in a story he no longer controlled, while the rest of the world turned his heartbreak into content.